Thank you for joining us for the news at 11. I'm Haley Boland. A former drill instructor on Parris Island has been found not guilty on all but one charge related to the 2021 death of a Marine Corps recruit. 19-year-old Dalton Beals died during a training exercise known as the Crucible, and Staff Sergeant Stephen Smiley, his drill instructor, faced several charges related to it. Smiley was originally charged but found not guilty on the following charges. That's dereliction of duty resulting in death and dereliction in the performance of duties, cruelty or maltreatment of subordinates, obstruction of justice, negligent homicide, and one count of violation of a lawful general order. Now, Smiley was originally charged with 2 counts of violating a general order, but was only found guilty of 1. This charge is a result of Smiley violating the Marines recruit training order for calling recruits pigs, according to prosecutors. Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom for these proceedings, but WTOC was there for the end of the court-martial and Smiley's sentencing. I also spoke to the parents of Dalton Beals and Smiley's attorney. Take a listen.
A little shocked and a little numb. Obviously, it wasn't the verdict that we wanted. I think my son deserved better than that.
That's Stacy Beals, Dalton Beals' mom, speaking outside of the courtroom on Parris Island right after Friday's verdict. The defense saying they feel the panel made up of 8 Marines made the right decision.
I mean, it's a tragic loss for the Beal family, for the Marine family, but it had nothing to do with Staff Sergeant Smiley. So that was an absolute just verdict.
The prosecution laid out a timeline of June 4th, 2021, the day of Beals' death. Recruits had been in training since before dawn that day. That afternoon, the government says Beals began to struggle. Then around 3:30 that afternoon, a different recruit had fallen, recording a body temperature of around 107 degrees. Smiley went over to this recruit to help, leaving his group. Between 3:30 and 5 p.m., the prosecution says Beals went missing, and his team members began looking for him and also asked Smiley where he is. Then, around 5 p.m., Smiley takes a head count and discovers Beals is missing. A search begins, and Beals is found dead around 5:40. The prosecution argued that Smiley ignored Beals' signs of heat-related illness. The defense arguing that Smiley was busy helping that other recruit with a heat-related injury. They also said that Beals wasn't showing signs of heat exhaustion. They also say Smiley began searching for Beals as soon as he learned Beals was missing. The defense argued that Beals' death is the result of cardiac arrhythmia or irregular beating of the heart, an independent event that has nothing to do with the actions of Smiley. The panel of Marines tasked with coming to a verdict ultimately agreed. Smiley was convicted on 1 count of violation of a lawful general order for name-calling of recruits. The panel also decided Smiley's sentence, being demoted to an E5 sergeant. He was previously an E6 staff sergeant.
We thought no punishment more appropriate given the nature of the offense, but the members also considered that evidence, and they came to a sentence that they thought was just. So you can't argue with members who take their job seriously.
The Beals family still coping with the loss of their 19-year-old son.
Nothing will bring him back. And, so I'll honor him. You know, I believe in the values of the Marines that he believes in. That's how he would want me to honor him.
Now, Smiley reached the end of his active service and will be leaving the Marines. Stacy Beals says her son made her proud every day. She went on to say that Dalton would have made an amazing Marine if his life wasn't cut short.